I just got some new tea from my friend Jeremy over at Herbata, and so I'm gonna try it out instead of making some coffee. It's kind of in the afternoon already. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock actually, which is normally when I have more coffee, but this time I'm gonna go with some tea. So Herbata is a company that Jeremy started. I think he has a partner, but I don't know him. And the company is based out of Canada. So what they do, I believe, it's a subscription model, and what they do is every month they have different teas that they pick out and source and include into this packet, and then they send them to you. So we have, I'm not even sure like what kind these are. I'm sure it says it on here. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this because I have no idea what it says, but maybe you can see it there. So it looks like there's 4 different ones. Crepes, Hanami, Maple Fudge, fun, and Pure Chai. So it has the actual teas. Looks like they packaged them, and then there's filters as well. So I'm gonna put one of these together. Actually, let me get the water going. Tea kettle here, and that's really good. So before we get to talking about coaching and mentorship, I should mention that this is not a paid sponsorship. So Jeremy actually just sent this as a thank you because I helped him out on a podcast that he's just starting. I don't know when that goes live, but I'll add his Twitter handle in the description, and you guys can keep up with him and see when he launches the podcast. And then I'll also add a link to Herbata if you want to check it out. But this is not a paid sponsorship. I just said it was really good, and it was really nice of him to send it out. So thanks, Jeremy. I'll definitely link it out. In regards to coaching and mentorship, I think there's a huge spectrum there, and a lot to decipher through. So when we talk about mentorship, I think about personal growth. And when we talk about coaching or professional coaching, then I think that's more about like skill sets and practical things that you can apply. There's a big difference. Sometimes it can be the same person. Other times I think it's more important or more valuable that you get different people. So if you're somebody in that position, definitely consider those things. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it was because it actually came up just in conversation through Twitter. I think it was Dan Petty who kind of brought up the topic and was just kind of reaching out to designers and asking people who needed advice, and I was involved in the conversation a little bit. So a few people ended up reaching out to me as well and asked me to review their portfolios. And one of the questions was, how do you level up in your career? And the other one was, do you recommend getting a mentor? And I thought those were 2 separate questions, really. So in terms of getting a mentor, you need to consider a couple of things, in my opinion. 1, religious views, and 2, political views. And ensure that the values that this person has align with your own personal values. And so it's much harder to do something like that. One thing that I would mention for sure is it's really hard for somebody that you work with to be your mentor, because that mentor, that person, shouldn't have a vested interest in how well you do through the task or through these interactions. So definitely look for somebody that's completely neutral, and you want to make sure that they're going to have your best interest at heart. But if you can find somebody like that, I think that could be one of the biggest things for you and very valuable. I personally reach out to a lot of older people, family members, people that I feel like have been through a thing or two, and I focus far more on the values versus any perceived success or failure that they may have in whatever career. Those things are irrelevant. I focus on the value. But when we talk about coaching, I think that's stuff that you can do every day. In fact, even now, as happy or as confident I am with my own design and my skills, I still reach out to people. I reach out to other peers just to talk, because we're each experiencing different things. Whether we're at a product company or we're freelancing or working for an agency, we're going to run into different situations. And no matter how much experience you might have, I personally find it valuable to learn from other people. In fact, I think Wednesday I have a phone call and a coffee date with other freelancers just to catch up and to see what everyone is doing, for no other interest other than to just learn from each other. And I think that's a really big thing. In fact, that's actually how I first started designing. When was it, like 6, 8, 9 years ago now? When I first got back into design, I was doing web design and logo design. What I would do was first I'd kind of scour the internet and find PSDs that I could download or Illustrator files that I could download. And I would just pick apart the layers and try to figure out how they did everything. And once I kind of got through that initial phase where I felt a little bit comfortable in dealing with a workflow, and I started to have bigger and deeper questions, I started to reach out to other people. Even to this day, just designers that I admired, like Phil Kaufman and Jason Santamaria. I would try to reach out to people like that, anybody that I could get a hold of who I thought was doing top-notch work, and I would ask them questions. And I would simply just send them a private message and say, hey, I have a question. I was wondering if I could pick your brain about it for a second. And some people got back to me and others didn't, but that was okay. I kept kind of asking and trying to find work, especially work that I could download that was similar to that of the designers that I admired. It's close to something that they were doing, because I would try to reverse engineer what they did and how they might have thought about something to achieve those results. And then I would try to do something similar. So when you talk about coaching, leveling up in your career, or even getting a mentor, definitely going down the coaching route and starting with like peers, I think is your number one asset, something that you can do that's extremely valuable and sometimes underestimated. And you start that now. Reach out to like 2 or 3 people, even your closest friends, and truly just admit to them sometimes that you're scared, you're worried, you're not confident, if that's where you find yourself, or just let them know that you feel really good and you're confident, but yet you're hitting a brick wall and you need help. You need getting past that section. Sometimes just a simple conversation with a close friend like that helps. Reaching out to peers sometimes helps, because they're complete strangers, and let's face it, you probably don't care how somebody thinks about you, so you're not going to be scared about asking a stupid question, and there is no stupid question. All the way through finding a mentor. And again, I think that I don't think you should go out necessarily trying to look for a mentor, but I think that if you're able to find one, that would be a very valuable thing. I think ensuring that they have the same values as you is first and foremost. So if you can get to that point, then that's great. But if you can't, then there's a lot you can do by learning from other peers. So thanks again to Jeremy and Herbata for sending out this tea. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And 1, do you have a mentor? 2, how you've gone about finding one? Or 3, are you looking for one? I'd love to hear your feedback on that. And again, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, or hit that thumbs up if you're on Facebook. I really appreciate it. Bye.